Guys! Okay, so I have been promising you this video for a while. So I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna rip the band-aid off and we're gonna do it. I've been kind of scared. It's scary. Okay. We are mounting this guy today. I'm actually kind of excited. Let's get into it. Okay, so Staghorn ferns are epiphytes. So in nature, they don't grow like a regular fern, kind of like in the understory of the forest. They actually attach themselves and grow up higher on trees and things like, I don't know what else is higher than a tree. On trees. Rocks. Mountains. I don't know. I didn't research it that fully. Anywho. So, their natural environment is kind of up higher. And these look so cool. Mounted on a piece of wood or on a plaque or something like that. It's kind of like a Plant Geek's like buck antlers on a wall, only not as horribly deadly. At least this is still living. Oh, what a comparison. That's so dark. Okay, anyway, so today we're gonna mount this sucker on this sucker. So the things that I am going to use. Now you can do this a bunch of different ways. I have chosen to do it this particular way. There's lots of different videos on YouTube about how to do this. They're all kind of different. I have chosen a way that I think is going to work best for myself. So let's just do it. So I have this board, which I actually didn't paint or stain or anything like that. I did give it a good coat of sealer though, so that when I do water it, it doesn't annihilate this piece of board. So as it grows, because it will grow, it will get bigger eventually. I'm hoping it doesn't die and it doesn't it will eventually, when it does grow and doesn't die, it will outgrow this piece of board. And at that point, you just cut your strings, mount it on a bigger piece. So you need a piece of board. You can use nails or screws, or you can just tie your twine or fishing line around the entire board. I have chosen, okay, so one thing you need to know about me. I use push pins for everything. Like, no joke. If you ever see any of my plant tours, all of, I like big pieces of art, like actual paintings, and all of my paintings, like the one that I've got up here, it's actually, I don't know, like 5 by 3. It's huge. And they're all hung by push pins. One day that's going to bite me in the rear end, but it's working for me for now. So anyway, I am going to use push pins. I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to give it a shot. So I've decided that I want to hang it this way. So one thing that you want to do when you are hanging or mounting your staghorn, oh, he's a little crispy right there. No, he's not. He's good. Okay. So these fronds are called fertile fronds. If you want a more in-depth video on the ins and outs of the staghorn fern, Plantarina Amanda, she's got a great video and where she mounts her staghorn fern and she explains what the different fronds are, what their purposes are. I don't know enough about it to speak intelligently on the topic, so I'm not going to. What I do know is that these are called fertile fronds. And these, the name totally just left me. I had it in my head. Oh, sterile fronds. So this is called a sterile frond. So what this one's job is to kind of protect the lower portion and the parts where the fertile fronds come out and produce more growth. So what you want to do when you're mounting it, they are on either side. If you can see, the one on this side is a little smaller than the one on this side, but they will come down and cover over around the entire base of the plant. So what you want to do is make sure that that part is at the top. So it actually is kind of already growing that way. So basically what we're going to have is something that looks like that. This guy's huge. I don't think it's going to take him long to grow out of this. He's grown so much since I've had him. Okay, so that in theory is what I'm going to do. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so another thing that you're going to want to use, a lot of people use fishing line. I'm not going to use fishing line. Simply for the fact that I don't have any, and I find it really hard to work with. So I have this thin jute or twine, however you want to refer to it, and I think I'm going to use this. I think when the sphagnum moss is on there, you're really not going to see it. It is simply for aesthetics only. So if you're not bothered with aesthetics, you can use whatever you like. You can use like multicolored Christmas yarn if you want to. It really doesn't matter. Okay, I just happen to have this, so that's what I'm using. So then I also have my sphagnum moss, which I have pre-moistened, and I have my glass of wine, because I feel like I may need that. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is insert my push pins. You can also use small like finishing nails or screws. It depends on what you're using. This is actually quite thin, which will probably come back to bite me, but it's a learning process. And so these actually work quite well for my purposes. So I'm actually going to take them, because I'm mounting it this way, I'll just do it this way so you can see it. So I'm going to, he's going to be kind of here. So I want to place these oh Lord. These are what you're going to use to wrap your twine or your fishing line around. I also hang all my Christmas decorations, including all of my lights, indoor with push pins. It works great. Have I mentioned I like push pins? Okay, I'll stop. Okay, so now we have our push pins. So I'm going to, I think I'm going to do it this way. I've kind of positioned the push pins so that there's a bit more of a gap in the bottom than there is in the top. So because the fern is going to be hanging down this way, I kind of want the bigger gap to be at the bottom. So what you want to then do is you kind of gotta, let me pull this so you can see. So you're gonna take, kind of wring out some of your moss, and you want to put a good layer down where your fern is going to sit. Sphagnum moss is so good for so many different things. It's great for propagating things. It's good for shipping plants. It's good for stuff like this. Moss poles. So handy. It retains moisture, but not like a dense soil would. So it's nice and airy and light, which is kind of nice. Okay, so I have my little bed of moss. Towel. That should have been another thing. Something to wipe your hands on. But here's the thing. I'm wearing older pants. That's what we do. Okay. So. This is the scary part. So I am going to take, you know what I didn't grab? I didn't grab something to put this soil in. Hold on. Okay. Sorry. I wasn't completely prepared. I think I'm good now. Maybe. Okay. So I'm going to take, we'll shove this aside for the moment. Everything I own is red. I like red. Okay, so you're very gently going to take this guy out of here and take off a lot of the majority of this soil. Now, fortunately, the nursery that I bought this at packed it in fairly light soil. It's very woody. This can take me a second, so I'm just going to chit chat while I do this. So one thing I did want to mention, I've been having so much fun since I've started YouTube. I'm having a great time. I've met so many wonderful people. I've had some great chats with Rachel from Heart Shaped Leaves, who I find hysterical. Amanda from Plant Arena is just so real, so down to earth. We've had some good chats, made each other giggle and tee-hee, as I like to call it. And I most recently was talking to Pam from Pammy's Planty Things, and she's just the sweetest thing ever. So if you guys, I'm sure you guys are aware of Plant Arena. If you're not aware of Heart Shaped Leaves, please go check them out. Rachel and Casey are just a hoot. And also please check out Pammy's Planty Things. She's just so sweet. And this is really hard. I feel like I may need to run this underwater to get some of this off. I don't want to damage anything. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go do that. I will be right back. Okay, I think I about got as much off as I'm gonna get. I don't think it's a big deal if there's still some soil. I don't want to rip these roots. So I'm going to mount him like this. Okay, so again, bigger spot on the bottom here, smaller spot on the bottom, top. So I want to mount it about like so. See if I can tip that up and show you. Okay, so what you want to do, I may not have enough sphagnum moss here. I am so not put together tonight. Okay, so you want to take your sphagnum moss and throw it on your lap. Don't do that. Okay, and you kind of want to mush it around here. I didn't get enough. Okay, I need more sphagnum moss. Hold on again. I'll eventually get it together. I'm not even gonna promise that. Hold on. Okay. I think I'm good now. Maybe. I don't even know. Okay. So I actually wrang out some of my moss this time. I'm gonna move that so I don't get sphagnum moss in my wine. Nobody likes sphagnum moss in their wine. Or maybe they do. Ew. Okay, so I'm kind of just putting this all around. You want to make sure that your fertile fronds, let's see if I can show that on this side. So here is the starting of the fertile frond on this side. Let me see if I can, this guy. So you don't want to cover those because those will eventually cover this entire thing. So you want to make sure that those are exposed and not covered up. I feel like this is a little lumpier and more bulbous than the ones I saw other people do. But I feel like that'll just give him more to grow in. Right? I don't know. Anyway, so in regards to what I was saying before, I am loving this plant community. I have met some simply fantastic people, and everybody is so extremely friendly, willing to help you out and give you advice and send you cuttings. Choking on sphagnum moss. I'm just kidding, I didn't eat it. Ooh, I didn't, I promise. Anyway, and all of the love and support that you guys have given me is just, it's just so cool. The one thing that I did forget to mention in my last couple of videos, and I keep meaning to say, is that I have recently started putting all of the things that I use on a regular basis, all of the usual stuff that I use. I get a lot of questions, hey, what's that in the background? What are those little bulbs? What kind of lights? Yada yada. And so I have linked all of the stuff that I use down in the descriptions of my videos, so that if you so choose to, you can go and check those out for yourself. Now, in the interest of full disclosure, it is part of the Amazon Associates program, so I do get a very, very small portion if you decide to buy anything. I mean, the choice is totally yours. You know, you are supporting the channel and whatnot if you do, but if you don't, I'm totally okay with that too. I mean, this is really not why I'm here. It helps me be able to do more things like this for you guys, and bring you some more plantertainment. I love that term. I think it's fun. Anyway, so yeah, the links to everything, all of my little bulbs that I use, I get asked about those quite a lot, and my lights. So all of that stuff is down in the description of the video, should you choose to check that out. I don't know if you guys heard that. There's people outside yakking. It's a gorgeous night. It is the long weekend here in Ontario. I brought a towel this time. Okay, so I think that I have all of my sphagnum moss on there okay. So the challenging part, I feel, is going to be getting the twine on here. Let's give it a shot. So what I should have done and I didn't do, so don't make the same mistake, is I should have tied one of these ends on before I started. I'll do it, it doesn't really matter what. So I'm just going to tie, you can see that? I'm just tying one of the ends around this push pin. I love this this twine, or this jute. It is so handy for so many things, and I actually bought it for crafts. I actually, years ago, I used to own my own craft business, and so I've had all of this stuff for like ever, and all of this stuff has actually really come in handy for plants. Who knew? I don't know. Okay, so I think I'm going to go diagonal across here first. So I kind of want to go under here across to this one. And I think I'm just going to do this in like a winding it around the push pin fashion. Can you see that? Nope. I'm going to do the best I can here to give you the full experience and show you, but it is kind of difficult to show you. And where's the push pin? There it is. Okay, so I'm just going to wind it around. See, my theory on everything is that I'm a mother, therefore I should be able to do this. You guys get me? Because mothers can do anything. Okay, so I've got it wound around that one. I think I might wind it one more time, if I can remember which way I wound it to begin with. Okay, and I'm going to come back diagonally across. I don't want to go on that fertile frond. So here is the fertile frond. I don't want to go over top of that. So you need to be mindful of that. So I'm going back diagonally. I'm going to wind this around this push pin. Whoa. Twice. And I'm going to come back over here. I'm starting to question whether my push pin theory is going to work. I'm not giving up. I think it'll work. So I do know that a lot of this sphagnum moss is going to fall off once I set it upright, and that's okay. I've put a lot on there, so I've accounted for that. But it does tend to hold together quite well. It's actually quite surprising. This I think I'm just going to wind right underneath the other piece. I'm going to cut this. Okay. Uh-oh. See, we have unwindage already. I was afraid that might happen. But that's okay. I can fix it. I have the ability. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to do it on the side push pins. I think once everything is snug and tight enough, I think it'll be okay. I don't think it'll come undone. Or one morning I'll wake up and there'll be a staghorn fern on my floor. The good part about that is, if you've watched my recent video on toxic and non-toxic plants, you'll know that the staghorn fern is non-toxic to pets. So if this does happen to fall off my wall and land on my floor and my cat and dog decide to chew on it, that's okay. I mean, it's not okay, but you know what I mean. All right. We're getting somewhere. We are. I am making progress. Okay. I feel like we're almost there. I've lost a push pin. It's in here somewhere. Hold on. You people that have done this a million times are probably looking at me going, what are you doing? I'm sorry. I'm trying. Man, where's that push pin? It's way in there. I got it though. I found her. Cross. Oh, you're stuck. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. This is going okay. The true test will be when I stand it up. That may not be so okay. But I feel like it's going alright so far. Am I making that face again? Yeah. It's my concentration face. Okay. We're almost done. I'm going to wrap one more across the bottom here. Hold on, lady. Ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So I am going to tie it off at this last push pin. I'm going to tie a knot. Try to. Okay. Now, the push pins seem to be rather stable, so I'm kind of optimistically impressed. And I'm just going to kind of tidy it up. I know, like I said, a lot of this stuff is going to fall off. I don't want to tie this extra string. I'll show you. Just yet, until I know that everything's going to stay where I put it. So I'm just going to run my hands along and get any extra that is immediately, obviously, falling off. This is messy. Okay. The moment of truth. Are you ready? I'm a little nervous. Oh, look. Oh, it turned out so good. Can you see? That's awesome. Oh, that's great. Kind of impressed with myself. Okay, so here's the deal. Now that we have this guy mounted on a plaque, what you want to make sure to do, because like I said, these guys grow in the upper portion of the forest. They're not like a traditional fern that grow on the ground. So you want to make sure that you have this guy facing the light or a window. If you don't, for example, if I put him on this wall here beside me, I have light coming from that way and this way, more this way. So he's going to want to grow that way. You don't want that. You want him to grow straight out. So you want to put him at a place where the light is shining from the front. So I actually have the perfect place for this guy. And I think he turned out okay. I'm going to clean up this board. And I'm going to put him on his wall where he is going to live. And I will show you the after shot of that. So stay tuned for that. I'll put it right after I say goodbye here. So I do want to say, oh boy, I'm dirty. That's not what I wanted to say. I do want to say thank you so much to everybody for watching and subscribing and commenting and liking. You guys mean the world to me, and your support is amazing. So if you like this video and you're not already subscribed, go ahead and give it a like. Hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notify button so that you are notified when I post a new video. Yeah, and I hope you like this. It was a lot of fun. So I will see you in the next one, guys. Mwah.